Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about FSSAI standards, regulations for licensing and food safety for Jardalu mango leather, that is Aam Papad. First, we'll see about introduction of FSSAI. FSSAI is nothing but Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, which is an autonomous body established under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. The FSSAI has been established under the Food Safety and Standard Act 2006, which is a consolidation statute related to the food safety and regulation in India. FSSAI is responsible for protecting and promoting public health through the regulation and supervision of food safety. In this video, I will be discussing with you all about FSSAI registration and licensing, FSSAI guidelines for fruit bar and dried fruits, general hygienic and sanitary practices to be followed by the food business operators, FSSAI guidelines for packaging and labeling. Let us see about FSSAI registration and licensing of food business in food manufacturing area. According to the section 31(1) of Food Safety and Standard Act 2006, FSSAI has made a mandatory decision that every food business operator in the country is required to be licensed or registered under the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. As per the Food Safety and Standard Licensing and Registration Regulation 2011, licensing and registration are granted to food business operators in a three-tier system. One is the registration, second is the state license, and third one is central licensing. The registration is compulsory for petty food business operator with annual turnover less than 12 lakh rupees. The state license is compulsory for medium scale food manufacturer, processor and transporters. The central license is mandate for large scale food manufacturer, processors and transporters. FSSAI registration is done online on FSSAI website through Food Safety Compliance System, that is FOSCOS. FOSCOS has replaced the FLRS system, which was previously a single window system for obtaining license or registration for the food businesses. FLRS stands for Food Licensing and Registration System. Now we'll see about the requirements for petty food business operators. Petty food business operators are required to obtain FSSAI registration certificate. Petty food manufacturers means any food manufacturer who manufactures or sells any article of food himself, or a petty retailer, hawker, itinerant vendors or temporary stall holders, or distributes food including in any religious or social gathering except a caterer, or it may be other food businesses including small scale or cottage scale or such other industries related to food businesses or tiny food businesses with an annual turnover not exceeding rupees 12 lakh and or whose production capacity of food does not exceed 100 kg or 100 liters per day. Now let's see Which businesses comes under FSSAI licensing? Any person or entity that does not classify as a petty food business operator is required to obtain an FSSAI license for operating a food business in India. FSSAI license are of two types. One is state FSSAI license and another one is central FSSAI license. Based on the size and nature of the business, the licensing authority would change. Large food manufacturers, processors, transporters and importers of food product requires central food safety license. Medium-sized food manufacturers, processors and transporters requires state food safety license. The license period is valid for 1 to 5 years as requested by the food business operator. A higher fee for obtaining FSSAI license for more than 1 year will be charged. If a food business operator has obtained the license for 1 or 2 years, renewal may be done no later than 30 days prior to the expiry date of the license. This table classifies the food businesses depending upon the capacity and the kind of business which is happening. In the first, if you see the petty food businesses, the annual turnover is up to 12 lakh rupees and hence they will require an registration, and the fee for getting an registration certificate for the petty food business operator is rupees 100 per annum, and this registration has to be get renewed per year. All the food manufacturing processing units other than dairy units, vegetable oil, meat processing and slaughtering houses whose production capacity is more than 2 metric ton per day will be able to get central licensing, and the fee is rupees 7,500. All the grain, cereal, pulses milling units without any limit on production capacity will be required to obtain state license, and the fee required to pay to obtain a state license is rupees 3,000. If the turnover is up to 12 lakh per annum, or if the production capacity is up to 100 kgs or 100 liters per day only, then the business needs to obtain only registration. This flowchart will give you an idea about how to proceed for obtaining a license or registration certificate for your food business. To obtain a registration or license for your food business, you need to apply for it. First, you need to navigate to the website, that is www.foscos.fssai.gov.in. Once you log in to this site, you need to register and you will get a login credential. Once you logged in your account successfully, you will be get a dashboard page by using which you will be able to apply for obtaining registration or licensing. While applying to obtain license and registration for your business, you need to follow these steps. After creating a valid user ID, you need to log in. Then you have to start a new application. In that you have to select a kind of business, and you can again check for the eligibility whether you need to have a license or registration. Depending upon the eligibility, if your business is eligible to obtain registration, you need to fill Form A. If your business is eligible to obtain a license, you need to apply for the license by filling out the form B. Once the form has been filled, you need to upload the required documents and you need to submit the application by paying the application fee. After submitting the application, your application will get processed for the grant or rejection of your registration or license. This slide shows the dashboard of FOSCOS system through which you will be able to obtain licensing and registration for your businesses. The first tab will tell you about the food products which has been got standardized by the FSSAI. Again, you will be able to find out a list of different products which has been got clubbed together depending upon their sectors. You can find the eligibility for your businesses by viewing the eligibility using the tab. You can track your application. Once you have submitted your application, at any time you can track your application to know whether the registration or license has been granted or not. You can get step-wise description about how to apply in the How to Apply tab. Once you are done with the information, you can proceed for your application using Application tab. Once you log in using your login credential, you will see all these 4 tabs colored in different colors, that is yellow, red, green and blue. If you want to apply for a license, you need to select the yellow section. If you want to register for a certificate of registration for your petty food business, then you have to opt for red tab. If you want to have a modifications in your license or registration, you have to select the green section. If you want to renew your license or registration, you have to select for blue tab. You can also find the list of documents required while applying for registration or licensing for your food businesses. This flowchart tells about the steps required for the petty food business operator to obtain a registration for their businesses. You have to navigate to the FOSCOS website. Then you have to apply for the registration certificate. You can verify by using an OTP on your email ID or mobile. You have to apply for a new registration. You can fill the application form and after submitting you will get an application ID. If you are willing to have a license for your food business, you have to navigate to the same website of FOSCOS. On the dashboard, you have to select the menu, that is license or registration. Once you click on it, you have to click on apply for new license or registration. You have to fill the form B. You have to submit or upload the required documents and you have to submit your application by paying the respective fee. You can also check the status of your application and you can follow up your application by using the dashboard. If your application is reverted, you will find a red alert on your dashboard. You have to respond on the reverted application within 30 days. Failing to do so, it will result into auto rejection for your application. Again, you can check the status of your application by using the dashboard tabs like incomplete application. If you click on it, you will be able to complete or delete your previously created application. By using submitted application tab, you will be able to view the details of submitted application. Again, by using a tab, that is application reverted by the authority, you will be able to see the comments on your reverted application. By using the issued tab, you will be able to view the applications for which license is generated. You can view the remarks and comments for your application by clicking on the remark tab, and again you can modify your application and then you can proceed to update your application. Once the application is updated for the required queries and remarks, you can submit your updated application by using a tab Submit Updated Application. Food Safety and Standards, Food Product Standards and Food Additives Regulation 2011 will tell you about the standards for the food product. 5.3.19 will tell you about fruit bars and toffee. Fruit bar or toffee means the product prepared by blending a pulp or puree from sound ripe fruit, fresh or previously preserved fruit, nutritive sweeteners, butter or other edible vegetable fat or milk solids, and other ingredients appropriate to the product, and dehydrated to form a sheet which can be cut into desired shape or size. Point 4.1.2.2 will tell you about dried fruits, nuts and seeds, which includes fruits from which water is removed to prevent microbial growth, which includes dried fruit leathers, that is fruit rolls prepared by drying fruit purees. It includes cashew nut, almond, raisins, dried apple slices, figs, copra, that is dried coconut, dried, shredded or flaked coconut, prunes and dehydrated fruits. This regulation also defines the standards for fruit bar, which has been stated in the table. The moisture should not be more than 20%. Total soluble solids should not be less than 75%, and the total fruit content should not be less than 25%. This chart gives an information about the recommended maximum level for food additives that you can use in dried fruit, nuts and seed products. This table gives an information about microbiological parameters for dehydrated fruit. To achieve a food safety, it is utmost important to follow the general hygienic and sanitary practices guidelines by every food business operator. Now we'll see all the requirements stated by the FSSAI authority. From this slide onward, we are going to see about sanitary and hygienic requirements for food manufacturer, processor and handlers. The premises shall be located in a sanitary place and free from filthy surroundings, and shall maintain overall hygienic environment. All new units shall set up away from environmentally polluted areas. The premises to conduct the food business for manufacturing should have adequate space for manufacturing and storage to maintain overall hygienic environment. The premises shall be clean, adequately lightened and ventilated, and sufficient free space for movement of the workers. Floors, ceilings and walls must be maintained in a sound condition. They should be smooth and easy to clean with no flaking paint or plaster. The floor and skirted walls shall be washed as per requirement with an effective disinfectant. The premises shall be kept free from all insect. No spraying shall be done during the conduct of business, but instead fly swats or flaps should be used to kill spray flies getting into the premises. Windows, doors and other openings shall be fitted with net or screens as appropriate to make the premises insect free. The water used in the manufacturing shall be potable, and if required, chemical and bacteriological examination of the water shall be done at regular interval at any recognized laboratory. Continuous supply of potable water shall be ensured in the premises. In case of intermittent water supply, adequate storage arrangement for water used in food or washing shall be made. Equipment and machinery, when employed, shall be of such design which will permit easy cleaning. Arrangements for cleaning of containers, tables, working parts of machineries, etc. shall be provided. No vessels, container or other equipment, the use of which is likely to cause metallic contamination which is injurious to the health, shall not be employed in the preparation, packaging or storage of food. All equipments shall be kept clean, washed, dried, stacked at the close of business to ensure freedom from growth of mold or fungi and infestation. All equipments shall be placed well away from the wall to allow proper inspection. There would be efficient drainage system, and there shall be adequate provision for disposal of refuses. The workers working in processing and preparation shall use clean aprons, hand gloves and headwears. Persons suffering from infectious diseases shall not be permitted to work. Any cuts or wounds shall remain covered at all time, and the person should not be allowed to come in contact directly with the food. All food handlers shall keep their fingernails trimmed, clean, and wash their hands with soap or other detergents and water before commencing the work and every time after using the toilet. Scratching of body parts, hairs shall be avoided during food handling processes. All food handlers should avoid wearing false nails or other items or loose jewelry that might fall into food, and also avoid touching their face or hair. Eating, chewing, smoking, spitting and nose blowing shall be prohibited within the premises, especially while handling the food. All articles that are stored or are intended for sale shall be fit for consumption and have proper cover to avoid contamination. The vehicles used to transport food must be maintained in good repair and kept clean. Food while in transport, in packed form or in containers, shall maintain the required temperature. Insecticides or disinfectants shall be kept and stored separately and away from food manufacturing, storing and handling areas. Now we'll see about FSSAI guidelines for packaging and labeling of food product. The requirements about packaging and labeling of food product are given in Food Safety and Standards Packaging and Labeling Regulation 2011. Now we'll just see some of the definitions which are important while considering the packaging and labeling of food product. First, best before. Best before means the date which signifies the end of period under any stated storage condition during which the food shall remain fully marketable and shall retain any specific qualities for which or expresses claims that been made beyond that day, the food may still be perfectly safe for consumption, though its quality may have diminished. However, the food shall not be sold if at any stage the product becomes unsafe. Second one is date of manufacture. Date of manufacture means the date on which the food becomes the product as described. The third definition is date of packaging. Date of packaging means the date on which the food is placed in the immediate container in which it will be ultimately sold. Next definition is infant. Infant means a child not more than 12 months of age. Next is lot number, code number and batch number, which means the number either in a numerical or alphabets or in combination thereof, representing the lot number or code number or batch number, being preceded by word lot number, lot or code number or code, batch number or batch or any distinguishing prefix, by which the food can be traced in a manufacture and identified in distribution. Next definition is use by date. Use by date or recommended last consumption date or expiry date means the date which signifies the end of estimated period under any stated storage condition, after which the food probably will not have the quality and safety attributes normally expected by the consumer, and the food shall not be sold. Next is vegetarian food. Vegetarian food means any article of food other than non-vegetarian food as defined in a regulation 1.2.1.7. In the packaging and labeling regulation, it has already stated that the containers made of plastic material should conform to the Indian standards which are stated in this slide. The IS 10146 is for specification for polythene in contact with foodstuffs. IS 10142 gives specifications for styrene polymer in contact with foodstuffs. IS 10151 gives specifications for polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC, in contact with foodstuff. IS 10910 specifies the details about polypropylene in contact with foodstuff. IS 12252 will give a specification about polyalkylene terephthalate, that is PET, in contact with foodstuff. Now let's see about the labeling requirements. Every pre-packaged food shall carry a label containing information required by the FSSAI. The particular declaration to be specified on the label shall be in English or Hindi or in Devanagari script, provided that nothing herein contained shall prevent the use of any other language in addition to the language required under this regulation. Prepackaged foods shall not be described or presented on any label or in any labeling manner that is false, misleading, and deceptive, or is likely to create an erroneous impression regarding its character in any respect. Label in pre-packaged food shall be applied in such a manner that they will not become separated from the container. Content on the label shall be clear, prominent, legible, readily legible by the consumer under normal conditions of purchase and use. If the container is covered by a wrapper, the wrapper shall carry the necessary information, or the label on the container shall be readily legible through the outer wrapper and not obscured by it. License number shall be displayed on the principal panel as shown in the slide, provided that the existing product of a unit shall comply with the requirement of this clause on and after the 6th month of commencement of Food Safety and Standard Packaging and Labeling Amendment Regulation 2013. In addition to the general labeling requirements, every packaged food shall carry the following information on the label, namely the name of food, the trade name or description of a food contained in the package. Next, ingredients in a descending order, nutritional information per 100 gram or per 100 ml or per serving of the product, and it should give an information about the energy value in kilocalorie and the amount of protein, carbohydrate and fat in grams. Every package of vegetarian food shall bear a declaration to this effect by a symbol and a color code as stipulated below. The symbol for vegetarian product is green in color and the symbol for non-vegetarian product is red in color. The size of vegetarian or non-vegetarian logo varies with the size of principal display panel. If the area of principal display panel is 100 to 500 centimeter square, the minimum diameter of the green dot should be 4 mm. The symbol shall be prominently displayed on the package having contrast background on principal display panel just close in proximity to the name or brand name of the product, and on the labels, containers, pamphlets, leaflets, advertisements in any media. Every food business operator should also declare about the food additives which are being used in their food product. The food additives falling in the respective classes and appearing in the list of food additives permitted for use in food, generally the following classes titles shall be used together with the specific name or recognized international numerical identification number like E number. Some of the examples of declaring the food additives are given in this slide, like emulsifiers or emulsifying salt, glazing agent, sweeteners, anti-caking agent, etc. Name and complete address of the manufacturer should be printed on the label. The name and complete address of the manufacturer and the manufacturer unit, if these are located at different places. In case the manufacturer is not the packer, the name and complete address of packing unit shall be declared on every package of food. Whether an article of food is manufactured or packaged by a person or a company under the written authority of some other manufacturer or company under this brand name, the label shall carry the name and complete address of manufacturing or packing, the name and complete address of manufacturer or the company, and on whose behalf it is manufactured or packaged or bottled. Net quantity by weight shall be declared on every packaged food. Lot, code, batch number for the identification shall be given on the label. Date of manufacture or packaging should also be provided on the label. If the best before date of product is more than 3 months, the month and year of manufacture, packing and pre-packing shall be given. Less than 3 months, the date, month and year in which the commodity is manufactured or prepared or pre-packed shall be mentioned on the label. These are some of the formats by which you will be able to represent the best before and use by date on your label. You can also provide instruction for use. Instruction for use including reconstitution where applicable shall be included on the label if necessary to ensure correct utilization of the product. Thank you.